All right, guys. What's going on? What's going on? How are you? Welcome to my early morning live caricature art stream. Just give me a second here, guys. One thing I kind of overlooked here. So let me find it so that I can be sure that I can see your commentary here. I'm going to try to do this while this camera is on. So hopefully it doesn't. Hold on, let me see here. This one here. Okay, that one there. Hold on one sec, guys. Okay, there we go. Start. Okay. Let's go back to where we were. We were on TikTok. Okay, good. We're here now. All right, now we're going to move this over here. And then we will go back to our picture that we were at, which was this picture here. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Jake? How are you today? Okay, I was just trying to make sure that I could get all of my comments here so that I can see what you guys were talking about. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump in today, guys. I got something real cool for you. We're going to be talking about mastering caricature head shapes. So this is going to be basically head shapes. We're going to just head shapes 101, really. And we're going to be drawing the whole character all the way through. But then as we're going through the picture, of course, we'll go ahead and we'll put some, we'll discuss exactly what we're going to be doing, okay? So this is going to be a 3/4 face, okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to start with our outside profile line here. Okay, so what I like to do here, you guys can follow me if you wish. So I'm just going to draw a line. I'm using my pencil here. I'm going to draw a line straight down. Okay. All right. Then we're going to go around like so. Grab your pencil. Okay. And then when we get to the bottom, we want a subtle curve. Okay. And then something like that. And once we have that subtle curve, we're going to come from the back edge of the face, which I like to do is come from the top, kind of line up from here. And I'll come down and I'll come around the back of the face. But when I get here, what I want to do is I want to kind of make the chin come out just a little bit. I might have overshadowed that just a bit, but this is this basic shape that we want for this particular 3/4 picture. All right. Now, what we're going to do here is go to our hairline. So because this line up here is going to be relatively short, because in here it's not really a lot of space right in there. What I'm going to do is just bring our hair like so. So we're going to keep these drawings very elementary, so that you can learn how to do them. This is not about me showing off to you. I'll do that. I'll do some of that later on. Okay. So we're just going to go ahead and do that hairstyle real quick. Okay. All right. I'm trying to get it to downsize just a little bit. Wait, let me see. Oop. Okay, there we go. All right. All right, so now we're going to go here to the front of the hair. And we're just going to make like a kind of groovy little do. You know what I mean? It's not to do too much there, right? And once we have that top part, we'll come here to the back part of our head, making sure that we're just flowing real nicely. We're not stressed out about what's going to come next or anything like that. We'll go ahead and draw our ear shape here. Okay. Like so. So just follow me along. Okay. So every shape here should be pretty simple for you. Hey, what's going on? Lena Bear, how are you today? How are you, Iman? How are you? What's going on, YouTube fam? Also, what's going on over here on TikTok? How you guys doing today? Today we're just doing some studying some head shapes here. All right, so from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my neck shape. So usually I like to make my neck shape a little skinny for the ladies, right? And then we'll go ahead and we'll start doing our picture. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to our, I'm going to do something like this here, right? Just really thin eyebrows with an arc in them, okay? Now, once I have that, She has a very closed, like intense look in her eyes. I don't necessarily have to do it that way, but I'm gonna attempt to do it that way. I think the best way to do eyes like this is to just choose a shape that you like. Um, that's a basic shape. Okay, so this is a basic shape. This is a rhombus shape, and I like these because you can do so much with them. This is good for this particular effect that we're trying to get here. All right, and once we get that, we'll just go ahead and put our eyes inside here like so, and then we'll just extend the eyelash off of the shape like so. Okay. All right, now once we get to that part, we're going to go to our nose. So for our nose here, what I do is I try to keep it simple. Her nose is it's kind of soft at the top, but it is a triangle no matter what I'm doing. So I want to, when I bring the nose out, I want to make sure that I don't make the end of the nose too hard at the end where it's like a point. Okay, then I'll draw my nose, my nostril shape here to the side, just like so. Okay. Usually I'll put a little bit of shadow underneath here too, just to help me out a bit. Okay. All right. Now, what's the next thing we're going to do? We're going to do a little smile on her. Okay. So the easy way to do the smile is you just kind of draw a smile, right? Right. Emphasize the cheek structure at the end of your smile. And then you come back and you can add lips to your drawing like so, right? Okay. So now we'll just go ahead and kind of color the eyes in, right? And this is a very basic caricature, very basic caricature. Of course, you can do more exaggerating if you wish, but again, it's really not necessary, especially if you're doing anything for production, like you're drawing at live events and parties. You don't really have a great deal of time to do all those extravagant exaggerations that you would do when you have just a lot of free time on your hands, right? Okay, so I just threw some earrings in here, and I'm just going to throw a shape behind her. I'm going to use a semicircle shape. It's going to kind of protrude more to this side. This way it gives me a little bit of room to put my 3/4 view in. Okay, and as far as cheek shapes and all that, we can add a shadow here or whatever if we want. But let me just go ahead and darken those brows in just a bit. Okay. All right. And there we have it, guys. So we have a big head, little body. We can go ahead and just kind of color in our lips a little bit, right? And the next ones I'll do with marker for you so you guys can. All right. What do you prefer, pencil, or do you guys prefer that I do this in marker? Just out of curiosity. Hopefully we'll get some crowd participation today. Okay. So I like the way that one came out. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to kind of catch up. See what they said here. Okay. All right. So this, guys, is our first drawing of the day. All right. This goes to show you don't really need a whole lot of materials and stuff to do a caricature. You just have to have a little bit of imagination, right? Lots of attitude, right? All right, I think I enjoyed that one right there. Okay, one of the cool things about drawing, from the side view, you think about it, it's really just learning how to use almost like this shape here. You have one shape, then you have another, then you have this shape here, kind of like a bottle, and then it comes down to the bottom. And so these two shapes right here will vary in different pictures, but for this one, because it was 3/4, obviously this one is not going to show as much as this side over here. So once you learn how to manipulate these two shapes to make the curves you want, this gets a little bit easier for you. Okay, let's see here. I am also a oh, really? Okay, cool. And awesome. We got another cartoon artist in the house today. All right, now we're gonna go to our another picture here. So let's go ahead and just find some. We're just gonna play around with it. I had some on my computer, but I can't use those because I'm having a problem with Streamlabs. Sometimes I can't use the same camera, so sometimes I have to do it with my phone up here, and then this. Sometimes I can do it from my computer because the stream key keeps getting messed up. So it's kind of Crazy. Anyway, let's see here. What about this picture here? Okay. So we got a picture here. We got a 3/4, right? You guys should be able to see that pretty good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to back the light out some, and then I will, hold on. Actually, let me put that here. I forgot to do that. Let me put my wallet underneath here. Maybe it'll hold it up so you don't get all that glare. Okay. All right. That should be good for you guys. Can you guys see that pretty good? Yeah. That's like that. That's too much. Maybe about right here. Okay. All right. So let me grab out my marker real quick, and then we'll go ahead and we're going to do this one with a marker. Okay. I have all kinds of markers here. What is this one? Does this one still work? Okay. Anyway, I'll just go through here and use them. All right. So let's go ahead and go to our next caricature here, guys. This one is going to be another 3/4 view. So again, what I want to do is I want to figure out what my overall shape of my head is going to be. Now, sometimes what I can do is I can just use a whole shape and bring those two nodules around the same way. So let me show you what I mean by that. If I go with my brow and then my cheek, right? And then the small, and then I come here to this one. You can see this is where her chin is. Then I'm going to come back here, and I want this shape to be very round going into the bottom of her face, okay? And then from here, I'll go ahead and draw my back ear with my earring shape here, okay? And let's go ahead and just bring this line down some. Okay, and be careful on how you bring that line down. Don't make it very like too straight. You know what I mean? That's the wrong thing to do, right? Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a upper shape. So here, I'm gonna actually foreshorten this top shape so that when I come around, my shape looks like this. So here, what I'm doing is I'm just forming her forehead shape, right? Okay. And I'm also going to go ahead and just to show you, give you an idea of where I'm at. I'll go ahead and put a little bit of the hair here and here. And then as I come from the back of the head here, you'll see the hair is kind of peeking around like such, going to the back of the head, and then it kind of just comes around here. And this wraps back around into the neck, okay? Now I'm going to do my brow shapes here. So I'm going to do something like this. And then we'll do something like this, right? We want to give her a little bit of attitude with her shape. You know what I mean? We don't want to just draw a regular basic shape here. So, you know what I mean? I just kind of curved them a little bit, okay? And then I'll go ahead and I'm going to do my eye shapes here. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use circles, okay, to make it funny. But then I just take my eyelashes and bring them off of there like this. Okay, once I get that, then I put my eyes in here, and then I add my eyes in like so, okay? And we'll add our eyelashes here. Let's go ahead and add a little piece over the top. It's going to give our eyes a little bit more roundness and that depth. So really you can see here how I turned up that eye shape a lot, you know what I mean, just to emphasize it more in that picture. Let's go to our nose shape. For her, I would want to put all the emphasis of her nose right about on the ball of the nose. So I'm noticing she has something very round going on here. So I want to make a semicircle, pretty much a semicircle, right? And then I'm not going to even bother to put nostrils here because I don't really need them. And then here, what I want is a soft curve going into the nose shape, okay? Now we're going to do our mouth shape, and the mouth shape here is relatively easy, okay? What we want to do here is just do we want to get that, obviously, that cheek shape in there, okay? And then we want to come around and get the other cheek shape, okay? So we want to make sure that we accent the cheek shapes, so that way once we get there, we can do full lips by just doing something like this here. Okay. So now I'm just going to back out a little bit so you guys can see. And I'm just going to add some lashes here at the top. I think that's the only thing missing. Okay. All right. Now that we have all of our drawing pretty much lit, we can go ahead here and we'll add this shape here. And then this shape here. Okay. Now, let's go ahead, guys, and do some shadowing on these drawings. So the shadowing I do with a gray or a color. If you guys do color, you can use color for that if you wish. This one I'm going to do in just black and white. So I'm just going to add a little bit of shadows in some spots here to make my drawing look a little bit more realistic. Okay. So just go ahead and add some lighting in here. Awesome. Okay. And then we got this little space right here that's going to just give us those nice high cheekbones before it comes around here and does something like that. Yeah. Okay. Just adding a little bit of shade here on my shirt. And I forgot to put the inner working of the ear here, but that won't take but a second for me to do, right? Now let's go ahead and just draw our brow shapes in, because her dark brows are what's really going to make the picture. And let's go ahead and darken this line just a little bit more. You see? You can do it like that. Okay, awesome. I like to use a lot of big eyelashes on my drawings. Yeah. Like I used to. Right on, Joe. How are you? Yeah, you gotta take a class with me, man, sometime. I'd like to meet you. Maybe we could talk caricature. Right? Okay, so here I'm just doing some random shadow type stuff, right? I like to do a glamorization type style caricature. So that's why you'll always see me drawing from these really cool pictures on Pinterest, right? Because they have a lot of different model pictures. We're going to do some guys too. Don't worry, the guys are not exempt. But I just wanted to show you, how easy it is to capture that likeness from that 3/4 view once you get a feel of how to form the side of the face. Okay. This music is just it's actually, the music in my background is actually just some music they had on YouTube. I can only use that music. And yeah, I can only use this music because they have like, because of the strikes and all that stuff like that. So I got to do that. But real quick, guys, let me give you a little bit of information. And just in case you were wondering about how you could learn to do caricature, I do teach caricature classes live and virtual. For you guys that want to take caricature classes, you can go to rouserworld.com/classes. You can take a class with me. I'll show you all the tricks and tips of the caricature trade. So check that out, and I'm looking forward to helping you. The next thing here is going to be our Patreon page. We do have a Patreon for our caricature art channel, but this is more of a behind the scenes thing, and it does have some exclusive content that's not available on YouTube, just to show appreciation to those that support us online. You can do so by going to patreon.com/rouserworld. Guys, thank you so much. Your help means a lot to us. All right, now the last thing is tips. If you guys are if you're feeling like, hey, I'm receiving something from this today, I'm learning something from this, and you'd like to buy the Rouser a cup of coffee, you can do tips, okay? And the tips can go to Cash App here at $Rouserworld. Let's put that information up there for you very quickly. And so we'll go ahead and we'll get started. Thank you, Miss Priscilla. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, man. All right, so now let's go to our next picture. And if you guys have a request, somebody you'd like for me to draw or whatever, you can go ahead and you can make that request known. I'll take care of you. All right, so let's go to our next picture here. Let's pick a guy here. Let's pick Most of the, boy, look, they got some interesting hairdos in here. Very good characters, but I want to go backwards here again. Let me move this up here, and then let's see if I can find. They got celebrity portraits. They got grayscale. What do we have? We have unique faces. Let's go with unique faces and see what that leads us to. Okay, so we got some people here that have unique faces. What about this guy? This guy has a pretty unique face, right? He has a pipe in his face. Let me see. Who is that? Okay, I guess that's this guy here. I like this picture of him a little bit better, to be honest with you. So we're gonna try that one. Okay, so I'm trying to see if I can. Okay, there we go. All right, here we go, guys. Can you do a drawing? Do you do a drawing? Wait, a scene caricature? Yes, I do scene caricatures, but generally because of the time within the stream, I only do those when I do, like if I teach those on classes and I have those on my Patreon page. Generally, I like to just stay with the faces because people sometimes start getting bored when I start drawing scenes. They want to see people's faces. I don't know. It's like, anyway, let's go ahead and draw this face real quick. Okay, so the first thing I want to do here, I want to create a look that I want an overall look, but I don't want to copy exactly what I'm seeing. I want to choose an emotion for my character, right? And I want to go here, and I also want to just draw some shapes that's going to go down like this, all right? So that I could get those. There we go. Then we're going to get this nose shape. Now I'm going to go from the bridge all the way down here on this shape here. Okay, and then I'm going to do something like this here. I'm going to do a shape like boom, and then like this, and then I'm going to go underneath and to the top, just like so. Okay, now over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the eyebrow. Okay, looks like I'm going to do a straight line here, and then from the top of that straight line, I'm going to come around the cheek. And then I'm going to go here because my chin is kind of protruding out this way just a little bit, even if you can't see it. All right. And then over here, we have this like little short shape that just kind of just goes down into the chin here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put my neck shape and attach it right to there. And I'll draw my ear shape here after I put this little bit of hair. Okay. He has a really droopy, big lobe on his ear. I could have made those a little bit bigger. In fact, I think I will. I'll just make it like a shade or something like that, just to make it look funny. All right. Now let's go ahead and do this. We're gonna actually just go straight up here from our drawing. So we're gonna foreshorten. Should I shorten this or should I make it? No, I'm not. I'm gonna make it larger. I think it'll be funny if I make it larger. So instead of bringing it down, I'm gonna take it up some. And I'm gonna draw a ball head. Okay, I'm going to draw a ball head that ends right here. Okay, see how that head is bald? Now, the only way, that's how you do that, those type of hairdos. Okay? Let's see here. So now we can just do this here. And we'll bring the hair off of that line. Be careful not to go in front of it because it's going to ruin the picture, the bald effect that you got going on here. You just want the hair to appear like it's going from the side. You see? Something like that. And then if you want themes or stuff like that, right, I could say, okay, this guy, I could do bodies on here too, but this one is actually going to be too big for a body. But I don't know, maybe let me see. This is what I like to do. I like to do this right here. I saw this today, right? And then I saw this. So what I do is I use those little stubs right there, and I use those stubs kind of like my what's the name for my hands, right? So my hands are kind of they usually just kind of go around the cup like this. See, this would be a thumb, this would be a finger, and then it would come back around and like so. All right. Or we could just go with it straight up, but okay. Sometimes when I'm instructing, I might do a little bit too much. All right, so let's go ahead and put these wrinkles in. Okay. Okay, and let me see here. Now we're going to put some bags under the eyes here. Okay. Got a little bit of like a shadow for his mustache or beard or whatever. Just a little one. All right, and then I think that's pretty much it. That's all we have to do with this drawing. Okay. So let's let's go ahead and shadow him in real quick. Okay. Fingertips. Yeah, I almost usually when I draw my hands, I just go like I'll go with it. I'll draw my object and then I'll just do like this. But sometimes it's easier when you know if you do it like this, it might be easier. All right. I don't like to draw like templates to do things with. I don't know. It's just weird to me sometimes to do it that way. But anyway, that's how I do it, guys. So let's see here. Shadows. Just grab that gray. We're on picture number 2. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of shadow over the top. Okay. Okay, and then we'll do like this. We don't want this to connect. Okay, and I think we got everything we need on this guy. We really don't need to do much. We can add some. There we go. Okay, and I think that one came out pretty good, right? Not too bad. Yeah, awesome. Now let's get our crayon out here, right? And then we'll just real quick. I don't like the perfect color. Perfect coloring is not for caricatures. You know, it's those imperfections in your coloring job that make your drawing that bring it up to par. So here I need those darks and those lights in the hair. Then because if I color it all the way in, it tends to muddy things up a bit. And I don't really like that. So I try to save my dark parts for anything that's very close to the head here. You'll see how that contrast makes the picture come out a lot more. Yeah. Okay. Oh, let me see here. Don't forget, guys, to share the stream. If you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to share. Also, don't forget, man, tips are awesome. Super stickers are awesome. Right? Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So that is drawing numero dos. Okay, so this is the first one we did. We did our female caricature first, right? And then we worked through to this guy over here, okay? All right, so let's see who else we can find. We're just trying to find people with interesting faces that'll be easy for us to learn from. All right, let me see who else we got here. Wow, that guy's a big head. Yeah, I drew that guy before, but let me see. All right, Einstein. All right, so we're back to interesting faces. So let's see here. I guess now that guy looks too mean right there. Let's do one that's simple. How about this one right here? This one looks pretty easy to do. Okay, then maybe we'll mess around and we'll put some babies and stuff. If you guys want to draw babies, we can do babies as well. Let me move my microphone over here too, guys, because I don't think y'all can hear me that well. All right, sorry about that. I got my microphone way on the other side of the desk over here. Okay, all right. Let's see here. Gene. Okay. All right, all right. And Priscilla, you just reached level 3 in my fan club. So awesome. Thank you so much. That means you've been commenting a lot. You've been participating a lot. Gene, is it Wilder? Gene Wilder? Is that who you're talking about? Oh, you saw Gene Wilder's face while I was scrolling. Hold on, let me see. Let's back up. Or I could just look him up. Hold on, let's see. You're talking about Gene Wilder from the Chocolate Factory. Let's look him up. Gene Wilder. Ah, yeah, here goes Gene Wilder right here. Okay, we'll use this one right now. I like that face right there. It looks very, let me see, this one looks cool too. I don't like that one. I think this one really captures him. So I'm going to use this picture right here. Okay. Have you ever drawn Jim Carrey? Yes, I did. I have drawn Jim Carrey. All righty then. All right. Let's go ahead and do our head shape on this one first. So, real elementary wise, I like to always keep my head. I like to do my head shape first. It's just my favorite way to do it. So as I'm looking at this right here, I'm seeing. I'm just gonna go with what I see here. I'm gonna go. Okay. I had to foreshorten the top of the head because I don't want this to grow too big here. Okay. And we'll draw our other ear shape here. A little bit of ear shape over here. Wow, that ear is too big over there. Okay. But this is kind of what happens when you draw live. You make mistakes. You just go with it, man. Just add something over here, make it balance out like I don't know, just do something. Right? Okay. All right, so from Young Frankenstein. Oh, okay. All right. Let me see here. So this is what we'll do here. We want to capture his expression for sure. Because he has a very particular expression. And you also see by me foreshortening the head shape up here, how it makes for a better caricature. See, if you try to copy line for line here, you're gonna try to add more space here than is actually necessary for the drawing. And you're going to try to put all those wrinkles, but you don't need it to make the likeness, okay? So from here, what I'll do, I'm just going to kind of make a small space, a big drop, right? And then this nose right here that does like that. So he has a very particular nose that actually starts right at that bridge. So you need all this space right here to make everything fit. You know what I mean? Hey, right on, Carter's Creations. What's going on? What's going on? Oh, you're taking lessons. Okay. Man, cool. All right. Oh, thank you, Strange Paper Sky. Awesome. All right, now I'm going to do my eyes here. So what we're going to do here, we're just going to use something very round, right? Because we don't need to, watch this. We'll do something round, but then we'll just put the eye looking up here, right? You see how you need to use a basic shape for these because his eyes just generally feel very round and very, you know what I mean? And so here now, what I'm going to do is do my cheek shapes here. So what I like to do is I want to look for I'm gonna outline my cheeks this way, boom, and then here I'm gonna look for my cheek shape this way, boom. The reason I'm doing it that way is because now I know from the top of this line I can do something like this, right? And then we can put our little shape here, right? And then we have our neck shape, and we can put our little thing here. And I believe this is that movie where he had went to jail. Wasn't this that movie where Gene Wilder went to jail with Richard Pryor? Yeah, I'm telling you. And so watch here. Now I'm going to do like this and just kind of swing back the other way. Boom. You see? Just like that, okay? I think that that is an awesome drawing right there. I don't think I can do anything more than that on this. Okay. Let's go ahead and shadow on our eyebrows. Add some lighting in here. All right. And then look at this. We're going to take out our gray marker here. Okay. And we're going to add a few little shadows just to bring, see no evil, hear no evil. Yeah, that might be it. I don't know. All right, let me see here. So I'm going to go ahead and just do some shadows here. And you're going to see that I think that my approach to this caricature worked very well. There's I'm going to tell you guys a quick story. One time, and this actually relates to caricature, but I want you to kind of, I think you could wrap your mind around this if I could. So when I a few years back, I was at a church function, and I tore my knee playing basketball. Like I tore it severely, like ripped things off bones and everything. Like the whole left side of my knee was gone, where I couldn't even stand on it. It was insane. And so when I went to the doctor that operated on me, Dr. Seger, he said to me, he said, you don't have your anatomy is off in your leg now because of how you rip things apart from the end of a bone. You know, this heart, there was nothing to attach anything to, but he had been fixing, doing this job so long, or being in this field so long, that he said it was like seeing around in the dark. You kind of knew where things kind of were supposed to go. And so that's the same thing with this. You got to think that you got to think that it's not going to be exact. It's going to, but you kind of know where things are supposed to go and what you can do and what you can't do. You get what I'm saying? So for instance, like I said, an inexperienced caricature artist might have put more space up there, but I'm going to show you in a second how that dramatically changes the dynamic of the picture when you do that. And the worst type of caricatures I think you can do that with is going to be baby caricatures. You know what I mean? Because then you have a person that looks very old and stuff like that. So, yeah. Let me see here. So this is my Gene Wilder caricature. Let me just go ahead and, I don't even need to put his name. We'll just put, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll make a short out of this. Hey, Anna, how are you today? Okay. And this is, well, I just put his name. Gene Wilder. You guys can make requests if you'd like to see somebody. Somebody asked me about Jim Carrey, so I think I'll go ahead and go to Jim Carrey next, okay? Just a quick intermission, guys, give you guys a little bit of information. If you wish to take a class with me, you can take classes at rouserworld.com/classes. I do live one-on-one virtual classes with you, so you'll be able to ask your questions, and I'll show you some of the tips and tricks that I employ to be able to draw the caricatures in the style that I draw them in. Now, I also do have a Patreon page. This is a fan support page because I'm an artist. I have to fund myself. I don't work for somebody. I don't work for an amusement park or anything like that. So I have to think of creative ways outside of just drawing at the places I draw at to, make so I do this as a fan support page. And also, we started it kind of as a ministry thing. So when you go there, you're going to see all types of different videos, not just drawing, but, things about life, what's it like to be 52 and be a father of a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, right? Just, different things. I'm going to talk about that with you. Oh, you're going to draw and send it to me. Hey, yeah, I want to see that. All right. And then finally, guys, if you wish to tip because you feel like you're benefiting from the stream, tips are awesome. You can tip at Cash App, $Rouser World. Okay. So that information is there for you. Let's go to our next picture. We don't really have any requests here. So let me see here. Let's see who we can draw next. Let me see. That's another Gene Wilder. Let's go back. Oh, Willy Wonka. From Willy Wonka, right? Okay, let me see here. Oh, that's Mary J. Blige right there. I already know who that is. Okay. Let me see, who do we got here? This is an interesting face. I may have to download this picture. Hold on. Let me download it. Right. Download. Download. Okay, let's open it up here. See if we can blow it up. Okay. So we're going to try to draw LeBron James. Okay. Wait a minute. Since we made a request, I'll go ahead. Since I didn't see you guys make a request, I was like, well, I'll just go LeBron James. LeBron James. Okay, so let's see which LeBron we're going to do here. All right, I'll tell you what. I think we'll start with, this is like the old school. It's like a vintage. LeBron don't look like that no more. LeBron hairline ain't that fresh. Come on, man. I bezel with you, man. All right, let me see. What about this one? This one look like what is that? Let me see. I like this look on the face. Let me see if I can download that. Oh, right on, right on. Hey, if you knew who it was, that's the great thing about it, man. Thank you so much, man. All right, so look here. This is LeBron. No, we can't use that picture. It's too small. I'm gonna have to go back and pick one like I think I'll just use this one. I drew that one already though. I guess we can draw it again. Why not? I want to capture something with his yeah, this one. I'm gonna do a caricature of him like this. Okay, here we go, guys. I'm gonna do this cartoon of LeBron James, right? Hey, Harry, my girlfriend emailed you about me taking some class. Oh, okay. If you did multiple, can I pay more money to do multiple? If I did multiple classes, okay. Wait. Let me read this. Hey, Harry, my girlfriend emailed you about me taking some classes, some art classes, one-on-one, and you said that it was 105, right? And that's for 3 classes. So that's a bundle. The 105 is a bundle for 3 classes. That is multiple classes. And then once you take those 3 classes, then you can re-up and you can take 3 more classes. Does that make sense? Yeah, exactly. Then you just go to the website. Once you're at the website, you just pick a day off the calendar. If there's not a availability date on the calendar that works for your schedule, then what you do is you email me and tell me, I wanted to, can you do a class possibly at this time or that time? And then we'll narrow down the times and then get you set up. Okay. All right. So let's go with, what are we going to do here, LeBron? All right, now with this one, I'm gonna go ahead and do my head shaping again. Okay, so first things first. I think I'm gonna. Okay, here we go. Just go with it, rounds. 1. I don't know how this is gonna work out. Let me see. 1, 2. Something like that. I don't know. Now, once I get there, what do I want to do here? I think I'm going to come around the back side here. I'm not going to do anything I'm not going to get too fly with it. I just want this shape to just kind of come here and come across. So I just want a basic little shape like that before I put his neck in like this. There we go. That's LeBron's head. Yep. All right. Now, from there, we're going to go to our brow line. So LeBron has Definitely a small eyebrow over here, but he has like a bigger eyebrow here. Okay. You got to be when drawing LeBron James. You got to be because he has a lot of contour in his face. He's a very contoured kind of a guy. So now I'm gonna do something like this. What do I want to do? Let's make a decision here. I think I'm just gonna go with a shape that overall just represents the nose here. Right. Right. If I could just get you to look at the over. Okay, here we go. Now, boom, boom. Right. Will it look like him when I'm done? I don't know. One thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to do a bunch of thinking. I don't like to think a lot when I'm drawing it. It stresses me out. Stresses me out, man. All right, so this is what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to do a circle. Okay, if I get the circle, I can get him looking up at the sky here. All right, boom. Like that right there. I don't know. Something like that. I really went with I went with a pretty hard position right off the top. Yeah. I think let me see here. Do. All right. And LeBron, that's my like a quick little LeBron James, right? I think if I would have went with, I don't know. Let me see. I like it. I like it. I think I like it. I'm not sure. What do you guys think about that? Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you, VP Villette. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate it. Okay. Okay, well, somebody likes my drawing, then thank you, man, because I was kind of confused about what I wanted to do here. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I was waiting. Once I put the shadows in and stuff, it started to feel like him a little bit more. And then I think too, because the beard's not really colored in. So what I'll do, let me see if I can just do like this here, right? And then I'll come over here. And let's just keep this all colored in like one shape. See, I can just color things in. Just color this like that. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it's not. It's this. It wasn't too bad. Um, Sometimes, especially when drawing from pictures, it's a weird anomaly. Some positions I'll have problems with. That's because I don't draw them as often as I draw other positions. Like when you get in caricature, you're gonna be drawing a lot of forward facing. You'll do the 3/4 view every now and then when it is fitting, and then just the nature of drawing, you're gonna make mistakes from time to time, even if you do draw straight up with a marker. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. I appreciate your faith and love. Right on, man. Oh, we got quite a little crowd over here. My moderator is not turning. Cherish, where are you today? You know what? That does look like LeBron James. Now that I look at it, I had to look at it on my big screen because I'm looking at it from here down. But now that I see it, it does look like him. With the angles, right? Yeah, yeah. So I think a good practice for that, and that's my quick LeBron. Okay, quick LeBron James. All right. But what I like to do is I like to practice like when I look at like let me show you. Let's look up. Let me see. That's weird about that. Let me see that. On this face, it kind of looks like his face. It literally looks like to me like his face is doing something like a I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Let me see. Kind of like this. I'm just gonna draw what I see and then see what happens. Doesn't it look like it's doing like this? So it's like that, and then it's doing like this, right? And then you can see the hair kind of doing like this, like with some little lines on the side, right? And then you got these ears. I don't know. That's what it kind of looks like to me. Like his face is doing like that. And then it just kind of goes all the way up into his forehead almost like that. And then all his eyebrows are doing like this. And then his nose is like this super wide triangle. Right? It just seems like that to be like super wide. And then this is like way out here like this. Isn't it? Doesn't it look like that? Something like that. This is a different little version of him. You know what I mean? Alright. And then what I'll do here, I'm gonna use this shape here. I'm gonna do this shape here. Let me see. Should I do that? I don't know if that'll work for this one. You know what? Screw it. You only live once. YOLO. YOLO. I'm gonna do something like that. I'm losing a small piece of paper, so it's hard to kind of get this in here. I don't know. Hey, LeBron James. There's so many ways to draw LeBron. You know what I'm saying? He's a multifaceted guy. That's him too. I mean, I just made his ears a little smaller, but it's not like you're gonna look at this and be like, the first person you're gonna think when you look at that picture. Why is it that it seems easy to draw unusual features rather than proportion ones? Because just think about the nature of what that question is. The nature of that question is, why is it, let me put it like this. It's easier to look at what's abnormal than what's normal. What's normal just passes us by all the time. You know what I mean? Like you have, just think about cars. You driving, you see a Ford, Mustang, Ford, Chrysler, whatever, Ferrari, right? You like, what? That was a Ferrari. You get what I'm saying? So you're like, okay, and that stands out to you because everybody doesn't drive a Ferrari. You get what I'm saying? So I think that's the reason why that happens with pictures. You know what I mean? You want to, and this is one of the craziest, the anomalies that I've encountered doing this over the years is that a lot of the times I find myself having to draw something that seems almost counterintuitive to what I'm looking at, especially with pictures. If you've ever taken a class with me, I'll show you guys some of those situations. But it's the darndest thing, to be honest with you, that you have to draw. You can look at something. Like, let me give you an example. Let's find another face here. Let's go with, who else can we draw today? Let's draw, okay, let's draw, I'm not doing it. All right, we're going to do something. We're going to do somebody that has some outstanding facial features. Okay, so let's look at this guy. Okay, now let me show you. When you draw this guy, all right, let's look at his smile real quick. This time we got 15 minutes. Okay. All right, we're about to go into our word of the day here, guys, in just a minute. So, but let's say we're looking at this guy, and I'm just going to focus in on the mouth shape. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'll do the inside face shape. So let me show you what I'm thinking. Okay, So as I'm drawing these eyebrows and I'm trying to get my what I want to do here, and I'm thinking of all these basic shapes. When I get to the eye shape, I'm like, well, what kind of shape is it that I want there? Well, I want something that does like this. I want something where the eye is literally like a bridge underneath, so it looks more like squeezed and penetrative. But in the picture, you can't see that. That's impossible. You can't know that. You have to know what you're doing to get that effect. You know what I mean? So then here we got a nose shape. Now you see how that nose is anatomically like that? What I'm doing is looking at that nose and saying, okay, you know what shape I see the most in this nose out of all of it? The shape that I see the most is this shape here. Let me show you. This is the shape I see the most. Now, why the heck does that still look like him when I didn't draw it exactly? Because I can go right to the center of the nose and I can follow the shadows and go around the shapes. I don't need nostrils to make it look like you. I need the middle shape. I need the shape in the middle. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like always picking B on a multiple choice question. Now, let's go to the mouth, the part I was talking about. Now, if you're unseasoned at caricature, right, you might, and you want to really get it right, you want to knock it out of the park, right? I'm just going to put this paper here. You might try to draw this mouth and be like, okay, and put all of this, right? Now look, and then this. And not saying that any of this is wrong, right? Okay, but let me show you how an easier way to do it. This is going to seem counterintuitive, but it's going to get the same effect. Okay, watch this. What if I just took a regular smile? Okay? And then just drew lips on it. Now, I'm going to bring back the other drawing. Look at this mouth, and look at that mouth, and look at that mouth. Okay? You understand? This has the energy of that mouth. You can do it this way, but when I'm drawing for production, I'm thinking about a what's the word? Similar idea, not same idea. Okay? So something that's so close that you can't, you really not, it's not going to affect the likeness of the picture, if that makes sense. Okay? And then from there, I just go back and do my so let me see here. We're going to go with you know what? I think I'm going to shorten the top of the head. So what I want to do here, I want this shape to be, I'm going to make his eyebrows literally come outside of his head shape. I'm going to do it just for fun. All right. And then when I get here, I'm going to do this shape rounder. You see? And then look, then I come over here. Okay. Now, if you're studying this picture, you can't think to do that. You get what I'm saying? You have to understand that we're looking for why does it appear like this to me? That's the question. And then what I like to do is I like to just draw, like if I'm drawing eyes, I look at each one and I figure out, well, what does that make me feel when I draw like this? What does this make me feel when I draw like that? What does this make me feel? Right? What does this make me feel? Right? And what I'm doing is I'm sticking to these ideas, right? Because I know those ideas will ultimately add up to him, because I'm looking for, again, similarities and not same. Okay? All right, let me see here. So we're going to go ahead, guys, and I got time for one more drawing. After that, I'm going to go ahead and get into my word of the day. Okay, guys? So if you want to stick around for that part, you're welcome to. If that's not you today, then I certainly understand that as well. Let's just pick a random face here. Maybe you can pick somebody let's pick somebody that's got braces, right? And they have that big smile too, right? So what I want to do here, I can start this drawing from anywhere, right? I can go ahead here and I can say, what's the expression that I want? Maybe I want something where his eyes don't be like this. Maybe they're going up, right? But then again, I want that squeeze look in the eye. So what am I going to do here? I can do a number of things. I'm thinking if I turned that shape upside down, what would then happen? I don't want to do that unless I try it first. What if I turn it upside down with this? What would that do? No, it makes it look too sleepy. So this is the same idea here. Yep. Okay. So here I'm going to go with my same look, but I'm going to tilt the angles. You get what I'm saying? Like that. This gives me that tilted look, and then I can just come back with the top and then add my eyes in, right? Look at this nose shape, okay? What is the shape that I see with that nose? I'm gonna enhance the tip of the nose, because that's really what you see when you look at a person from far away. You don't see the nostrils, you see the tip, right? And you see how that shape right there just is convincing. And then here I could come back and say, okay, however big I want to make the smile. Let's say I want to make it into an exaggerated situation. You see? I can make it an exaggerated situation. Okay? Now watch. I look at those front two teeth. 1, 2, 1, 2, right? And then I might do something like this. I might draw some little squares here. Okay? And some squares down here. And then I just kind of lightly connect them together to create the braces, right? See? Okay? Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Okay. Now, once we have that, again, because we have this huge exaggeration here, we have to make our face conform to the exaggeration. So what we want to do is what I would do here again is I would create a situation where the head, look, if I just did it real basic, if I drew a roundness of his forehead, right? Then what I have to do here in order to accommodate this exaggeration is I have to go out here. I have to kind of leave out his chin a little bit. Actually, just to make it funny, I might do like this a bit. And then I might come over here and come back in. You see what I'm saying? So now when I put my neck shape, his neck shape is going to be coming from right here somewhere, right? So let's say I'm just making fun, whatever. So you see here, now we made something that requires imagination to draw. You get what I'm saying? This all requires the imagination. Now with this, you're not going to be able to see the ears, right? So what can you do here that you can't see the ears? Well, I could do a couple of things. I could go ahead and bring the ear. I could bring the ear like right here on the side of the eye. I can bring it like kind of like and make it really small, like it's sitting on top of this little ridge. So I make it really small here. You know what I mean? And then I'll just go ahead and add my shade in here. And look how we got a pretty cool picture of him, right? And all by using generalizations. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to get into our word of the day here. So I'm going to, real quick here, I'm just going to change up my doo-doo-doo-doo. So I'm going to go ahead and change up my music here a bit, guys. I want to thank you so much for coming out to the stream today. That was going to be my last drawing I want to leave you today with a word of encouragement. How I open every stream and close every stream is with a little bit of devotional time from the scripture. So I'm just going to share something very short and sweet with you, with the hopes that that will motivate you today to step into your destiny. Sometimes we have fears about tomorrow, and we have fears about the future and the things that can possibly happen and all that. And I'm with you on that. I know I feel that from time to time, and it's good to have. Excuse me. Okay, cool. It's good to have encouragement uh, in those times. So I'm gonna just let me get my book out here and my Bible. We're gonna go ahead and jump in. Okay. And today we're going to our word of the day. I'm going to take this out because I don't need it anymore. Okay, put this over here, my Bible over here. Okay, and we're going to go to my devotional book. This is Jesus' Calling. It's been used a lot because I'm always I like to also share this. Because it's easy to understand. Again, I want to put you in the mindset of why I shield devotionals from very simple illustrations like this, because sometimes when we read a lot of things like the Bible, sometimes when we read the Bible, we can miss things that were very important. In other words, like we did in the picture, we're not looking for same, we're looking for similar. You get what I'm saying? And so the processes or things or stories that happen in the Bible are similar to a lot of the stories that happen in our life, and not might not be exactly the same, but there's a similarity, and then there's a similarity in the wisdom that you would apply to obviously be in that particular situation. So that's the reason why we study from here. Sometimes when something is simple, when you break it down to rudimentary terms, a person might think there's something less impactful about it because it's so simple. But actually, simplicity is really what kills. And that's what I've built my caricature style off of. I've built it off of simplicity because I'm not a complicated. I got tired of doing things complicated. You know what I mean? Nobody wants complicated. People like simple. Right? So today's word of the day is going to be love takes care of it all. Love takes care of it all. So here it's instructing us to go to the book of First Peter. If you guys have your Bible handy, let's go to First Peter. We're going to go to chapter 4, and then we're going to go to chapter 4, and we're going to go to verse 8 here. Okay, and it says, here it says, most important of all, continue to show deep love for each other, for love covers a multitude of sins. Love covers a multitude of sins. There's a lot of, you know what that means to me? It means to me that when you look at a situation, if you look at the situation with the wrong eyes, you won't see the right solution. Okay? If you look at it with the eyes of anger, you're going to make a decision based off of the anger. Oh, awesome. You have the same book. Awesome, Faith. Okay. But that's what that means to me. It means that love conquers, in other words, allows you to overcome some of the things that happen to you in your life, the difficult situations, the difficult people. If you learn to love people and allow life has a way of teaching you that you ain't gonna be able to do whatever you want. And sometimes I think as human beings we overly put that burden on ourselves as we think we can save the world, and we try to preach the Bible into everybody and or bring the Bible in when it doesn't really mean that this is it. Though it does mean something to us, you have to understand when you're talking with someone that doesn't believe, right? It doesn't mean anything to them. So how do you speak the Bible to somebody that doesn't believe in the Bible? Well, you don't tell them that you're doing the Bible. What you do is you be the Bible. You act like the things in the Bible. You say things like in the Bible to them. You don't never come out, you don't come to a person and say, well, I'm going to say this in the Bible. No, but what you do is you treat them with love. You treat them with respect. You treat them, and then what's going to happen then when you do that love and respect, they come back and they feel like, man, there's something different about this person. There's something different about this person. Me and my best friend, whom I met in a very, very trying time in my life, when I was back getting in trouble and I found myself in a place I really didn't want to be at. Okay, and in that place, there was a lot of things going on. But my friend, excuse me, we became friends. And the reason that he became friends is because he told me that when I talked to him, he didn't feel like I wanted anything from him. And that's why he says, in this place that we're at, everybody's using everybody. Everybody's trying to get over on everybody, right? In this jailhouse, everybody's trying to get over on everybody. But people would ask me all the time, well, what did this happen? And I'm a true example of a dumb decision can change your life like this. One dumb decision. But let's go back to what I was saying. It is that love that I had for a people, right, that saw me through, and that God put the protection around me because the people around me knew that I didn't have the same intention. Sometimes we don't understand that the intentions in people's hearts are what causes the things that they get back from the world, from the universe, right? Notice I didn't use the word God, but I can say God, but that's what I'm trying to imply here, is that what you radiate out, right, is what you get back. So something can happen to somebody that seems very innocent, right, to you in your eyes. Well, how could this happen to that person? But you don't know what the inner life of that person is like. You don't know what their thoughts were. You don't know who this person's connected to. There's so many different pieces of the puzzle that you don't see. And at the end of the day, the Bible is very clear about what we should do and where we should put our trust and our faith in, and that's in God and God alone. So love takes care of it all. Let's see what our devotional is saying. It says here that love is the key to my kingdom. Above all else, I want you to love me with all your heart, your mind, your body, and your soul. When that happens, you open yourself up to receive my love for you, and my love changes everything. And that is so true, guys. When I surrendered my life to the Lord and I said, I'm going to give you my heart, I'm going to give you my mind, I'm going to do with my body what is now pleasing to the Lord. I'm not going to be going around sleeping around with all these different people and doing this and going here and drinking this and doing that and partying and smoking and drinking all this stuff that I was trying to use to complete myself, because I didn't feel love from nowhere. I just didn't feel love. You know what I'm saying? So because I didn't feel love, those things, when you don't feel love, you generally feel very hurt inside. And when you feel hurt inside, you don't want that hurt there no more. So what do? You try to drink that hurt. You try to smoke that hurt. You know what I'm saying? You try to do things to alleviate the pain. You want medicine for it. But it's saying here for me, when I surrendered to God, okay, I open myself up, right, to receive God's love. I open myself up to receive God's love for myself. And when I felt God's love, because you can't feel this, you can't experience this unless you are all the way in. You can't be 1 foot in and 1 foot out. You have to say, I'm tired of the way that my life is going. I'm tired of these situations I keep repetitively finding myself in. And I want to change for my life, and I want that change to happen today. You have to decide which road you want to take, and then you have to go down that road, very similar to drawing caricatures. You have to make a decision at junctures in your caricature that can make or break your caricature. If you make the wrong decision, you're going to mess up that drawing. You get what I'm saying? But if I draw with love in my heart, when I draw these caricatures, when I draw, notice my drawings, I don't do distasteful or anything type of drawings like that, because I feel personally it's a disrespect to the person. So I won't draw pictures like that. So this is the reason, this is the root of the style of caricature that I draw, is because I feel like it is tasteful and it is uplifting and it is edifying. And this person is going to want to look at this picture for many, many years to come. There's nothing like a family sitting in front of you and laughing and having fun because they just got their picture drawn. It's a feeling that is unparalleled for me. Or that family that sits in front of me and says and shows me a picture of their game room in their house, right? Where they keep coming back to me every year. They want to update their family. And their whole game room is filled with my drawings. God through me, but spoke into those drawings. And when they look at them, when they go back and they're going through something, I always talk to the people that I draw, and I always give them something to uplift them. So when they look at that picture, they're going to always go back and remember what was said that day. I always leave something with them that's attached to that picture. So it's not just about drawing pictures to me. I'm not here to show off for anybody. I'm here because life is short, and I'm only what's the word I'm looking for? I'm just a visitor passing through. I've been awarded or the steward or placed as steward over my family, my friends, and even this YouTube channel is not mine. This is all dedicated to God as far as I'm concerned. So I may not ever get to the views and and the Ferraris and all that stuff like that, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna spend eternity with God, and that makes me happy every day to know that. It says when that happens to you, again, when you surrender, you open up yourself to receive your love, and my love and God's love changes everything. My love covers a multitude of sins, both your sins and the sins of others. This means that once you bring your sins to me, they are forgiven and completely forgotten. It also means that you will be able to forgive others because you will see them through the eyes of my love, through God's love. You will let me give you a story. Let me give you something real, a story. Um, God rest her soul. I love my mother, great woman. Um, I did it. I wasn't. I remember I had a very judgmental heart for many years in my life. I didn't want to understand that other people were human beings too. Um, that my mother was a woman before she was my mom. That she had a history and she'd been exposed to things just as I have that affected my life. And God, when I surrendered to Him, allowed me to see this thing. And this thing is that the devil doesn't make you do things. He only suggests them. He can't make you. He doesn't have the power. The ultimate say so is in your hands to either believe what the lie is being told to you or to reject that lie. That all comes down to you. Just like in a drawing, and my students, my class, I don't tell them I'm not trying to turn you into me. I'm trying to turn you into you and who God wants you to be. But the reason that I brought that up was I began to see through that relationship with God that spirits can overcome and overtake a person when you say yes to whatever answer you say yes to. That thing now becomes a part of you. It ingrains in you and it changes the course of where you're going. It's the steering wheel of your life. And if that the devil says take a left, but God said take a right, now it's up to you to say which way I'm going to go. But once you take that wrong turn, and we all make mistakes, that you can be placed under, you're under an influence. You're acting out because you're being influenced by something. It's not you that wants to make this decision. It is rather the enemy influencing and lying to you. And nobody has ever showed you true love to get you to change course. So your natural reaction is to get angry. Your natural reaction is to talk over everybody and not listen. And not accept sound wisdom. Your natural reaction is to look for something or someone that believes and sees the world exactly the way you do. And then you use that person as the reference that you go to every time. You know, when they said that, for instance, you can put vitamins in beer. I want to drink beer forever. We know that alcohol is bad for you. We know that it's bad. We know that. Don't act like we don't know. Right? But then you might look up something. And I remember I did it when I was an alcoholic. I would look up people that lived a long time that drank alcohol. And then the internet gave me these names of these people. This guy was a known alcoholic. He lived about 60 years. He lived about 70. Yeah. So I'm trying to justify how can I have long life and health, but still be a drunk? I'm searching for what my itching ears want to hear so that I can stay in the lie. But through this, and listen to this next sentence, it says, remember when it says love conquers a multitude of sins, it allows you to bring your sins to him and those sins to be forgiven. So if you feel like you've done something so bad that you can't turn back, that's a lie. And it says it also means that you will be able to forgive others because you will see them through the eyes of my love. So I saw my mother through the eyes of God's love. God forgave me for all of these things that I've done to other people, all of these negative thoughts that I've had toward other people, the envy that was in my heart, the anger that was in my heart, the selfishness that was in my heart. All of these things I've done we've all fallen short. We've all done bad things, and we've all done things to other people that we shouldn't have done. We've all done something, if you can relate to that we shouldn't have done that affected somebody else. And maybe that ruined the relationship between you. And maybe you really want to talk to that person again, but you find yourself in a position where you can't because that person won't let you back in. You want their forgiveness. You want them to release you from this obligation, but you can't find it in your heart to do so because you haven't experienced the forgiveness of God. You can therefore not forgive others. And there's no other forgiveness that can do that. Not State Farm, none of that stuff, right? You say accident forgive, none of that stuff works in the spiritual realm. The only forgiveness, once you feel God's love, it will transform you. It will make you a new person. You will not think the same. You will not do things the same. None of that. I'm only sharing my testimony with you. And to finish here, in finishing, it says you'll be able to look beyond a bully's hateful words. So if you're at school and somebody says something about you, right? And if you don't know God now, if you don't know, you can't see, you can't feel what I'm saying, but you can literally grow to a point where you feel sorry for the drunk. You feel empathy for the drug addict, right? You say, what a shame to the man that's cheating on his wife, or the woman that's cheating on her husband, or the husband and wife that can't get it together to raise their kids. They're only thinking about themselves, and they don't want to be a good mother and father to their children. We're not talking about them. We're talking about them being caught up in that lie. But you'll be able to look beyond things. right? Like in drawing, everybody told you sometimes you have to look beyond what you're seeing in the picture to be able to draw what you need to draw. The answer is not on the paper. It's not there. It's only something that you can intuitively know. And that's through repetition and practice of the truth. A lot of the times the pictures hide the truth of what's going on in your face. So you can't see lines and things that I make up to put in my faces. But let's finish up here. I don't want to keep you long. I want to be respectful of your time. The last thing here it says is when someone, wait, let me back up. You'll be able to look beyond a bully's hateful words. For example, you see someone who feels bad about himself. When someone lies, you will see more than just the lie. You'll see a person who is, oh man, let me say this. Listen. When someone lies, when you're under the Spirit, when the Holy Spirit, when you have that relationship, when you really pursue it with everything you got, give God everything you got. Don't listen to nobody else. Don't listen to that stuff. There's no God and all that right there. It doesn't exist, right? Don't listen to that. The only reason they're telling you this is because they have not experienced God. A person cannot talk about what they have not experienced. You don't have enough knowledge. That would be like me sitting here telling a woman how to have a baby, right? What do I know about that? I'm just talking. I read it in a book, but the true experience is something I could never fathom. And therefore, technically, I don't believe a lot of the stuff that I hear about it. I can only but go by what I've been told. But it says when someone lies, right, to you when you're in the Spirit, you will see more than just the lie. You will see a person who is afraid to say the truth. They're afraid to tell you the truth, right? Afraid to tell you the truth because they are embarrassed. They don't have any power to feel like they don't have any power to change the destiny of the way they're going. And so they wind up staying in that negative path. In here it says, choose to see others through the eyes of my love, and my love will take care of it all. So it seems here the first thing that we need to do then is to receive God and to receive God's love. This is the requisite. But the only way you can receive it, guys, is if you are tired of what's going on right now. You have to be truly, look, I'll know when you're finished because you'll give me all the indications of it. I'll know when you're finished. You get what I'm saying? When you're finished, you know somebody's finished. You know, when somebody says, I'm done with you, we're breaking up, and then you don't never see them again, guess what? That means that they're broke up, right? Remember, guys, that God's love will take care of it all. And if you want that relationship with him today, guys, look, let me tell you, it's very simple. You go in your room and you pray, or you can pray right now. But you have to believe what you're praying, because the act of making words come out your mouth means nothing if your heart is not the thing pushing those words out. If you're saying, God, please forgive me for my sin, but you don't really want forgiveness for your sin, or you're saying, God, forgive me, but you really don't actually believe in God, not yet. You don't even believe a little bit of what I'm telling you today. But you need to have faith the size of a mustard seed. Today, we're not telling you to have big faith. This is new to you. Start with small faith. And then that small faith, every time you see God do something, it's going to become bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm going to tell you what it did to me, and then I'm going to close out. If you ever seen a person worry a lot, that was me. as a worst case scenario kind of guy most of my life. Um, you have no idea how refreshing it is not to feel that anymore. I don't feel that. I feel like I have the power to tell every negative thought no. The thought will go in my head, yeah. You know, oh, when your wife says that, well, she was saying something, well, you a man and she can't talk to you like that, blah, 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 blah. You should go over there and tell her to say this, blah, 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 right? Okay, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to say that. That's a lie from the pits of hell. And I ain't doing that because that doesn't line up with the word of God. He tells me clearly what I need to focus on. What's uplifting, edifying, you know what I'm saying? What's pushing me forward. That's what I need to be talking about. That's what I need to be thinking about. That needs to be every word out of my mouth. So, therefore, what you're telling me to say doesn't make any sense. And at that point, I cut that thought off and I chop it off right there. I test every spirit to see if it came from God. So today, if you want to receive God today, that's all you have to do. God, I'm tired of the way that my life is going. I'm tired of making all these bad decisions and I'm tired of feeling lost. I'm tired of walking around my life feeling like I don't have any purpose. I'm just going through motions every single day. I go to work, I come home. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I do everything right. You know what I mean? But you still feel no purpose because that's not enough. Because the ultimate reason that you're being a law-abiding citizen is because you just don't want to get in trouble. You're not doing it because you have true reverence for God. And that's different. That's artificial. Just let him know that you're tired today and that you receive him today. And then from today forward, you begin to walk in what you said, what you profess over your life. Take it from today. You don't have to go back and figure out what went wrong in your life. Stay out of that part of your life. You don't need to know all that. People think you got to know the cause of a problem all the time to solve the problem. No, you don't. What you need to do is start today walking in the victory of the problem. I already overcame. I already won the game. Right? If you take off playing the game and I told you, well, you already won. There's no way you can lose. Right? You get it? You're going to walk in faith as you walk through that thing. So, guys, that's our word of the day. I want to thank y'all for coming out to the stream. I want to leave you guys again with that information from earlier, and then we'll go ahead and close out on that note. So just a few things here. If you want to take classes with me, we do have I am a virtual art teacher, so I do offer classes at my website, rouserworld.com /classes. You can go there and you can book a class with me. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to talk with you. I'd like to encourage you, and I'd like to teach you. You know, because one thing that's cool about drawing is really spiritual. If you think about it in nature, it's something that was unseen coming into what can be seen. Something that was spiritual coming into what is now physical. This is what the nature of drawing is. So you can check that out there. Also, guys, if you want to support our channel, you want to keep this thing going, you feeling encouraged, uplifted by our the way that we do things here at Rouser World, then you can join our Patreon family. We do have a pretty extensive family right now. We have some that are really, really digging in and supporting, and I guess the other ones are some of them are kind of standing back, seeing what's going to go on and stuff, and I get all that too. But either way, we have a lot of people's lives that we are touching and affecting with these words of the day, with the ministry work that we're doing, with the drawings and different things like this. So if you want to be a part of that, go over there and check out our Patreon page. And finally, guys, if you felt like you benefited from the drawing, because you never have to pay for the word, that has nothing to do with this. We're talking about I drew, I tried to instruct, I gave you some lessons, and then it said the Bible says a man that doesn't work should not eat. So I'm doing work. So that's simply what this is all about. If God put it on your heart to tip, you can tip at Cash App, $ Rounds the World. Also, we have the stickers and stuff. I think that you guys know how to use that. You can check that out there as well. Okay. So, again, guys, I so much appreciate you coming out. I love all of you guys. Your lives mean something. You're important. You have purpose. And when you find that, when you say yes, just trust me. I'm just my own testimony. I'm telling you, He will turn it all the way around. He will turn it all the way around and take what the enemy meant for evil, and He'll turn it to your good. But you just have to believe. For once in your life, believe something. Truly believe. Okay? All right, so you guys have a blessed and awesome day. My next live stream will be on Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. I've been kicking around doing the Spanish ones. I haven't been able to get to it yet because my son actually has a foot, mouth, hand syndrome thing today. So he hasn't been able to eat. Both of my sons are sick. So it's just like a lot of crying and getting up every hour on the hour to do it. So it's great. It's great exercise for a 52-year-old guy. All right, let me see what we got here. You said, Faith, are you online every Saturday? Yes, Faith, and I'm online every Saturday. Every Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Sometimes I might be a little late because I'm a full-time dad and at this time, so but I try to be here at 9:30. Just keep your bell notification on, and I'll be glad for you to attend. Thanks, Faith, so much for coming out today and being such an active part of the stream. I certainly appreciate you. And DJ Chrome Style, thank you, man. God is unconditional love, and to receive it is to take it in fullness. I like that right there. Amen. In fullness. Yes. Okay. We got a lot of believers online today. Okay. Well, you guys, y'all have a blessed and awesome day. I'm going to go in here and get ready for work. I got to go in and draw some pictures today at one of the locations, but I get to meet some people. I get to bless some people. Right. And I'm telling you, it's going to be good. It's going to be good today. I know it because God is good. Right. All the time and all the time. What? I know y'all say it. God is good, right? All right. You guys have a blessed and awesome day. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream. Have a great one, guys. Which one of these buttons?